the whole time. Okay. I'm going for 10 minutes. By the glory of God, I made sure I had notes. Okay. Today, I'm going to share with you the progression of influence for business owners. Um, Jesus in the Bible, he's selecting these disciples, right? He's got many, and then there is few, right? So the disciples become apostles, but there's fewer than what they originally had. Okay, we get down to the 12. And so what happens is that there is a progression of influence. And I want to share this with you because if you are a business owner who is building a business or growing a business, you know it is hard. And sometimes it feels like you just need more clients. Sometimes it feels like you need more of something that you have or had before. And I'm here to share with you that's not the case. That's not the case. So, um, what's important to share with you now is that early in the book of Genesis, Adam and Eve, we're gonna go back to Adam and Eve. You see, God is such a good God. He doesn't hold anything back. He doesn't hold anything back. He gives us everything and more, right? He gave them fruit trees, right? And vegetables and animals. And he gave them, natural minerals and stones and gold and like rivers and water. And I mean, fish and birds. Like he gave them anything. He gave them abundance. There's nothing that God is holding back from you. Because that's inconsistent with who he is. He doesn't hold anything back. We actually have to receive opportunity. This is what happens. Holy Spirit has been talking to me about ability for a long time. And so recently we were just kind of talking through what it was like when I was in college. And when I was in college, there was a CVS, a drugstore, and like a little mini market about 20 minutes from the dorm. And every weekend, I'd go stock up on what I needed for the week and then head back to the dorm. I had a canvas bag and a backpack, and that's what I did every single week. I carried things like, ramen noodle. I mean, we're broke, right? So, like, we're in college broke kids, right? So, ramen noodles and mac and cheese, microwavable mac and cheese was like such a big hit that back then. I can't believe I ate that stuff, but that's what I'd eat. And then in my canvas bag, I'd have things like orange juice and bottled water. And I remember every day, like I'd put all the ramen and the mac and cheese in my backpack because it was light, but it was bulky. So I could carry that and I can carry the water and orange juice in the canvas bag in my hand. But I always left one hand empty. And the reason why is because when I got to the crosswalk, I needed to press the button and I didn't want to put anything on the floor. And then when I got to my dorm room, I needed to get my keys out of my pocket and turn turn the knob so I can enter into the door. So I always kept one hand empty. Besides the fact that I wanted to switch hands every once in a while because they would get really heavy, right? I just like kind of turned for this side and then this side and then this side to give myself an opportunity to kind of like stretch my hand because our hands do so much. We touch, we feel, we squeeze, we punch, we slap, we high five, we shake, we console so much with our hands. But if you're a lady out there, we can carry a lot on our backs. All right. We're doing it probably about 14 to 16 hours a day, if not more. And that's a lot. Okay. That's a lot. So our bags can carry a lot. But at this time, and Holy Spirit was sharing with me at this time, I didn't carry a lot on my back because I thought I needed to carry it in my hand. I didn't want to hurt my back. I was afraid to put anything on my back and, different things that were pretty much in my head. Well, anyway, now after a few months, I was starting to like feel not so great. And I was like really lethargic and tired and just exhausted. I'm just like, man. And I remember my roommate, she eat pretty healthy. Like throughout the week, she was really health conscious. And then on Saturdays, she'd have a cookie from the culinary kitchen. And, I mean, I think everybody did because like once the woof, like the scent went into the air, it was just like there was a line of dozens of kids outside the door. But that was really her cheat. That was it. Otherwise, she was eating really healthy. And I thought to myself, I'm going to start eating healthy, right? I'm moving, I'm exercising, walking, but it just feels so hard. So I went to the store, the same store that I would go to, the same drugstore I go to, the same money market or mini market. And instead of getting the ramen noodles and the mac and cheese, I got fruits and vegetables. So I got oranges and bananas and avocados. And what else did I get? I got apples and things that basically I was eating so that I can eat healthy. Well, of course, if you've ever saw ramen noodles, it's super light. I mean, I could carry a whole box of ramen noodles in my backpack and not feel a thing. Well, once I started putting the apples and the oranges and the bananas in my backpack, I started feeling the weight and I was like, whoa, this is heavy. Now, as I was leaving the store, I realized that, oh my gosh, I started taking a few steps and I'm realizing, whoo, I feel it on my back. I was feeling it on my back. It didn't hurt. It wasn't painful. It wasn't causing me to trip or fall or anything. It was just it was uncomfortable. And so I took it off my back and I put it in my hand and I walk up to the street to the corner so I can press the button and I had to put it back on my back and press the button and take it down and walk more and my hands were exhausted. You see, because before I could just switch that canvas from one side to the next and this time I didn't have that opportunity. I didn't allow myself the opportunity. And when I got to my dorm, in order to get the key, I had to put the backpack on my back, take the key out of my pocket, turn the key, and then put it back in my pocket, and then bring the backpack down. Holy Spirit reminded me of this. And he said, well, why didn't you elevate to your ability? And I thought I was. I mean, I just got fruits and vegetables. I got some healthy stuff to eat. But he was talking about my back. He was talking about my back. You see, we do this often as business owners when we need something more, whether it's better systems, better sales systems, marketing, clients, advertising, whatever it is. If we need more of, or we need a better system to acquire anything in our business, we just focus all of our energy to how can we get this without using anything new, without changing or transitioning, transforming anything that we've done. How can we do something without making ourselves uncomfortable? And oftentimes that makes us even more uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're panic freaking out like, okay, I need to get more clients. It's like, oh my gosh, I need to get more clients. So what do? You like great content and you post and you DM people and you're doing all of these fragmented activities and then you're exhausted. Remember Jesus says that his burden is easy, his yoke is easy and his burden is light. It's light and it's not supposed to be heavy, but it's supposed to be based off our ability. Earlier, whether it was today or yesterday, I was sharing with somebody how I started going to the gym last year. I started working out, just like doing like different machines and learning different machines I've never touched before in my life. Years ago, I was a runner, uh, big time runner. And then I was like, doing some spinning. And I mean, I used to spin for, an hour and a half, 2 hours a day. I mean, it was just intense. My legs have muscle memory, definitely for sure. And so I got to this point where my muscles in my legs can actually press over 100 pounds. And I didn't even know it. One day, my trainer, I come in, it's like 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm just like, let's just get it over with. And she, puts the weight in and I get seated into the machine and I start, squatting and I start pressing down on my legs to move the machine. And she was like, "Okay, give me 12." And usually it's about 10 in a rep. She said, "Give me 12." I said, "Okay." So I'm just doing 12. Now I'm not even paying attention. I'm actually looking at the clock and I'm forgetting the sets. I'm like, "Okay, so what set am I on?" And I keep going and I keep going because I had something else on my mind. I was kind of tired. I was distracted by some other things that were going on around me. And I just kept going. This is something that we did every day, the same machine every day. And this day I lost count. And I looked over my trainer and she's looking at me and she's like, oh my gosh, like her eyes were just bulging out. And I said, what? I said, what number are we on? And she's like, 27 or something like that. And I'm like, whoa, oh, I guess we need to go up next year, next week. She's like, yeah, we need to go up. You see, this is what happens with our ability. The more that we use it, the easier it is, we don't even know it, it becomes our new normal. And so our comfort level, if I had just carried it on my back, that fruits and vegetable backpack for a little longer, for the next week I got smarter, right? I was like, screw it, I had to put it on my back because I need my hand empty, because that's just how it works. That's the system. And so carrying on my back, it was a little hard on my shoulders, I won't lie. Definitely went through backpacks faster. But at the end of the day, the system worked. The materials needed to be upgraded. The system still worked. And so oftentimes when you're trying to fix something, it oftentimes is just your ability needs to increase. Like I just needed to increase not just what I was eating, need to improve what I was eating. I needed to increase the weight that I was carrying, because I was thinking to myself, it was going to hurt my back. It was going to break my back. It was going to make pain, da da da. And of course, all of those things happened. But what happened after all of those things happened is that my back became stronger. So, fast forward to why I felt such an urgent desire to pop online and YouTube and talk about this. Because a lot of business owners, especially small business owners who are trying to grow, trying to create a legacy business, trying to create wealth so that their family has something beyond their lifetime, and they're stuck at the crossroads of holding on to something that no longer serves you, and consuming something that will be that'll be the future benefit for your life. The hard part is all a part is the part of the journey. To get to the good, you got to go through the bad, cuz even if you try to skip or cut or shortcut your way around it, it's going to show up anyway. I'll give you a short example. Recently, I was speaking with an expert, quote unquote, who has 18 years of experience in his field. And he could not explain to me the process in terms of what he did every day. Let me explain. He could tell you what buttons to push. He could tell you what buttons to push and what he was told, and he can tell you the directives he received, but he cannot tell you why he's doing it. He's got a slave mindset. And it just frustrates me because a lot of business owners are looking for that. They're looking for the checklist without understanding the why. Because and this is why it's so important to understand principles, because if you don't understand the why, the principle in terms of what you're doing, that is not wisdom. It doesn't form your brain. And I know it requires some time and energy and effort to actually think through ideas, but it works better in the long run for you, because now when the conditions shift, you know what to change and what to keep. Most people just go crazy. They go frantic. Oh my gosh, where do we buy toilet paper? Where do we do? But it's like, oh my gosh, it's like every hurricane season, every single year in Florida, where the gas lines are down the street, and it's like, y'all, you guys know we're gonna have a hurricane, right? Like this happens every a tornado, some type of storm occurs, a tropical something is in Florida, like in every single year. And so when I see people stocking up on water and like canned food, at that specific window of time where people are, you know, bordering up their windows for the storm, it's like it's confusing. It's like, but you're a Floridian, you've lived here all your life, and you're waiting until the very last minute to change. That is a loop. That's a cycle. That's a system that you're running in your mind that is not serving you. You've outgrown it. Your ability has grown. And in order to grow your ability, you must let go of the things that are so easy to you. That's how you know you've grown out of it. When things are so comfortable, I started making a decision to drink a gallon of water a day. My goodness, that was hard. I love water. I actually don't drink anything other than tea and water. I don't drink Coke. I don't drink coffee. I drink tea and water and juice and pressed juice. Other than that, no. And so started drinking more water, started drinking more water. And so I had to be really cognizant when I started drinking water. Not to just say I'm going to start drinking a gallon of water a day. That's not a goal. That's a dream. That's an idea. It's not a possibility. But what creates the goal is actually knowing when. So I put it on my calendar. I said, okay, so I'm going to drink 132 ounce in the morning at 9 a.m. I'm going to drink another 32 ounce at 11 o'clock. I'm going to drink another 32. So I know exactly when I'm supposed to drink. And so when I see that notification and this thing is not full, not empty, I know I got a little bit of way to get to that point so that I can get up and refill. If I'm out and about and I'm running errands, I need to stop at the drugstore and get myself a two 16 full ounces of water and fill up my container and drink it. There is no excuses. There's nothing in my way. God is an abundant father. He wants us to take care of ourselves. He wants me to take care of myself. And so the things that happen around you are not happening to you. They're happening for you. Opportunities are passing you by to wake you up so that you can actually take action and get in line opposed to being left behind. All of these things are happening for you because God is calling you to elevate. I was reading, I was curious actually, and I was doing some research on Jesus and the disciples. And I really started thinking about the disciples. They've been on my mind for a while, even though they're not considered masters, but they have been like elevated, ascended to a higher level. You see, the disciples came in, there's like 22. There's 22. Let me double check my math. Dun, 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 dun. There were 72. Okay, so there were 72 disciples that were documented in manuscript and tradition. And then from then very few of them, 12 became apostles. So from 72 to what 12? So 60, we don't know what happened to 60. 60, we just don't know. Right. And so I was thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, so how did they like what was the training process? Like how did they increase their ability? And it's interesting because I was going back and reading up through Matthew. So starting with Matthew starts and Jesus is on the mount and he's talking to the people and he's sharing this the good news and he's giving the gifts of the Holy Spirit or the the gifts and he's talking and he's serving people and people are like, oh, who is this man? He's proclaiming, he's prophesizing, he is someone that we need to know. And when he comes down the mountain, all these people start flocking towards him and wanting to be close to him and have him heal him and talk to him and different things. Well, then fast forward, he starts handpicking all these people, disciple here, disciple there, disciple here, disciple there. And he starts collecting these people and he's giving them all the same activity. They're basically following him and they're watching everything he does. They're witnessing all of the things that Jesus is doing. This is why it started like kind of um making sense in my brain because there was one part where Jesus is like, okay, now you go heal the sick. You you go raise the dead. And I thought, wait a minute, wait. He's talking to regular human beings who are not half God or full God and full man, right? Who are not full God, full man, who don't have the Holy Spirit at this point yet, who don't know heaven like he knows heaven, doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know anything, but he's telling them to raise the dead. He's telling regular people like you and me to raise the dead. I'm missing something. You're missing something. How the heck is someone raised from the dead? And so I started thinking about it, and it makes sense. Because Jesus, the documented life of Jesus was him training them to become apostles. That was the whole process. The law of probability states that there is a fraction of the whole that will succeed. So that was normal for 72 disciples to turn into 12 apostles. That's a part of it. You might think, I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to call five people and they're all going to turn into to clients. And no, absolutely not. It's just not. I don't care how hot they are. It ain't going to happen all at once, right? The law of probability says so. And so, what Jesus is doing, he's showing them through his life all of the activities he does, the way that he's treating people, the what he says, how he acts, when he sleeps, when he eats, where he sleeps, where he eats, who he becomes friends with, who he's not friends with, who he's talking to, who he's not talking to, when he gets and reacts in the synagogue, and when he's talking to the Pharisees, he's running away from the Pharisees, like all of it was a training. When he turned the um, five loaves and two fish into to feed 5,000, all of it was training. Everything was a training manual, all of it, so that one day he could turn around and tell the disciples, okay, you go do that. You go do what I just did. How did he know? Because like God can't lie. He can't ask us to do something that we can't do. He only asks us things that we can do. He only gives us vision for the things that we can do. The only things that we have in mind to desire are things that we can actually do. The things that we might envy, or the things that we're just like, oh, I wish my life was that way. Anything that is associated with sin in an emotion is not from God. But if it lights you up and it just creates this compounding effect in your heart where it's going to impact lives, and it's going to create a lot of opportunity for people, and it's going to do good things, and you feel, like this is a knowing, this is like a, what you know that it's coming from the Lord. It comes with everything. It's in like an IKEA kit, right? You get the instructions manual, and it's usually in a different language, but all the pieces are in there. You're not missing anything. Everything is in there. You got to figure out how to put it together, and you definitely got to figure out what the picture is. He's going to show you what it looks like in the corner, and with all your books and stuff set up on it. But in order to get to that point, you got to figure out how to open the box. Once you open the box, how many pieces do I have? Do I have everything here? Yes, you always have. Usually have more than you need. I always end up with two or three or four more screws. Then you've got the manual. The manual is always in some other language. You got the little stick figure images that just guide you along the way. And that's literally what we're doing here. We're just being guided every single way, similar to how I was carrying the backpack of fruits and vegetables. At first, it was really uncomfortable because it was breaking a cycle, a system in my mind of what grocery looks like every week. And once I broke that, then I started feeling better. My brain started feeling better, my back not so great, and then my physical flesh started to understand, oh, this is a part of the process. After a while, I was okay. In fact, I picked up groceries for someone else one week, and I had to be able to stack that up, and I tied their bag with my backpack loop, and I had to carry that, and it was fine. It was fine. I didn't break my back. I didn't have sore, nothing. This is what is called to increase our ability. And so the reason why it's so important to increase our ability is our ability is what unlocks our opportunities. Our ability is what unlocks our opportunities. We get to go from where Jesus was telling the disciples in Luke to go one by one, right? He told he says, follow me. That was one by one. Then he went through small groups. They went into a town. In Luke 10, they went into a small town. He says, go knock on the doors, and if peace returns to you, dust your feet off and move on. One by one. That's a sales culture, right? The one by one, the cold calling, individual call, until you have done enough reps where you can get to a point where you're in front of congregations speaking one to many. because what Jesus showed them is this is the outcome. The one to many is the outcome. That is how he started his ministry, is one to many. He is showing them this is the outcome you desire, is to serve, is to help heal, and it's to raise the dead. And if you do that in the name of the Lord, hmm, so cool, right? Now, if we think that we don't carry or don't have the strength of the Lord, like if long days, busy days, you got kids, you got husbands, you got wives, you got spouses, you got friends, you got drama llama in your family, you got drama llama in your in-laws, whatever it is, it's they're just opportunities to increase our ability. And when we speak to the Holy Spirit and ask Holy Spirit, how do we navigate this? Because not everything is requires our energy and our time. Oftentimes I find that I need to just create boundaries. No is the question that the word that I need to say more often. And so when we're in this process of increasing our ability, some of the things that we're increasing is our ability to hold more. I can't hold more if I can't hold for myself and for the future for my purpose if I'm carrying someone else's stuff, right? If I'm still trying to figure out my balance, how can I carry someone else's stuff? So sometimes creating those boundaries is the best thing that you can do for other people, to invite them to carry and walk in their walk. He modeled, he mentored, and then he multiplied and he taught people how to do that. Every single one of them, every single one of the 12. They saw it for themselves. They witnessed the system. You see, they didn't go from, following Jesus to then being on a mountain speaking to many. No, they went from following Jesus, understanding the service that he had to offer, really, really being able to be convicted in heart and trust and know that when I go out into the world, I am selling what I know with conviction is real. And that conviction is communicating to people. Now, what they're getting in response is a message. Oh, that healed my heart. Oh, my child is sick. Oh, my son died. Oh, this or have leprosy. And they're being able to heal. Now we understand the metrics. Who needs healing? So when he's speaking to them and saying, you're going to heal the sick and the lepers and raise the dead, now they know exactly who this offer is for, their audience is for. And then, of course, then it's one to many. Now that I know what the offer is and what the outcome that needs to be and how it needs to serve the many, now I can go in front of many and speak to them constantly without ceasing. And this is what Paul did. He spoke to people he never met. He spoke to people he never met. My camera, gosh golly, let me see. Turn it off. And let's see. Okay, let me try that. Okay, let's see here. There you go. So it makes sense. So it's all about ability. All about ability. We are called to acquire more. Some people I've used to hanging around people like this. I don't do that anymore because it's very dangerous to my soul. And speak to or talk to people who are like, "Oh, I don't need a lot." And you call yourself a Christian? Like your job in life is not to provide for yourself. Your job in life is to provide for others. My life is to provide for others. I'm not like, okay, let me just go ahead and build this business and create the success for myself. Ew, that's gross. Let me go ahead and stay in corporate America so that I can make sure that I have job security for myself. Ugh, yuck, yuck, ew. I don't have anything to do with them people. Because at the end of the day, if you're not creating an impact to somebody else's life, you're not compounding the love and the effect that God has for you. And you're not seeing that gets to translate in the money that you have, the time that you have, the opportunity, the skill sets, and the service. I mean, what are we here for? Time is limited at that point. I mean, I want endless. I want abundance. I want infinite. And in order for that to happen, I must create opportunity for other people. And you know what? The best thing is creating that opportunity for people, seeing people transform in real time through what you share. Last thing, and then I'm gonna have to go back and like edit the first 10 minutes. But the last thing that I'll share is what was this past weekend. I wasn't going to share this, but I think it has a lot to do with the obedience that is necessary to increase ability. The obedience necessary to increase ability has a lot to do with simple things. Simple things. So, or another grocery shopping story. Now we've upgraded, right? We drive a car and we go to Publix. But we were at Publix, my husband and I, and we were just like picking up the last few items that we didn't get at Costco, and going down and up and out the aisles, and I saw a woman. She was like kind of bending down in front of these items that like I have already, my mother-in-law buys or bought. Hopefully, God willing, she doesn't buy them anymore. But bought, and we scanned them through this app called Yuka, Yuka. If you don't have this app, get this app like right now. And and so we scanned this at our house one day, and the ingredients that she was using in her food, because she was complicating like joints and like pain and then her knees and arthritis and then like her gut and all this stuff. So I was just like, what the heck are you eating? She's like chicken and rice. And I'm like, no, it's got to be something else. And so we scanned this I scanned this ingredient that she uses like all the time, and found out that it has like carcinogens in it. It's like really, really bad. It's like it says that it causes cancer. Like literally in the app, it's like, you know. So I was like, no, you're gonna have to throw this away, right? And anyway, so fast forward to Publix. We're at Publix, and I'm on my own, kind of like picking up a few things. We kind of divide and conquer because I don't like being at the grocery store on the weekends. And I see this woman bending down. And she's like kind of like sorting through this specific ingredient and picking it up and putting it in her cart. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Is this my business or is it not my business? The Holy Spirit was like, tell her. I'm like, okay. Total stranger. I'm like, excuse me, can I show you something? Total cringe. And I opened my phone and I said, can I show you something? She was like, sure. And I said, okay, look it up. Wait, what happened? Who did that? Oh, okay. So when I looked it up, and I showed her the app on my phone and I opened it up and I'm explaining to her, I'm like, that what when you scan, I didn't tell her about the thing that she put in her cart. I said, when you scan it, it tells you how good it is, whether it's good or bad, or is what like chemicals, or if it's bad for your health and blah, blah. And she's like, okay, okay. And it's like, kind of broken English. And I said, yeah. So, and I put into the thing and I said, that ingredient, bad, bad, cancer, bad. And she was like, "Oh, okay, okay." And I said, and I was like, okay. Uh, And she goes, "No, no, no, Instacart." And I was like, "Oh, okay, never mind." And so I'm like, okay. So I'm like, okay, Holy Spirit, that was weird. And so I'm like, okay, let me go find my husband. So I go to the next aisle and I see somebody else and he goes, her. I'm like, okay. Hi, excuse me. And I same script. I didn't write it. I didn't prepare for it. I didn't do any of that stuff. I was just like, why, Holy Spirit? Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna be obedient. Excuse me. Da da da. App. I scanned something in their cart. Oh wow. Oh my gosh. In fact, it was pretty bad. And so I was like, yeah, so it's totally free. I am not affiliated in any way. Da da da. And oh, thank you so much. Okay, goodbye. Next aisle, I'm like looking for my husband. That guy. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, okay. Excuse me, sir." And I did that for another 3 times, and then I ended up talking to 5 people, um, and, a whole different ages, ethnicities, everything. And, um, and I don't really know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. I was obedient though. And at the end, when we were getting into the to check out, the one of the women that I spoke to, she was right behind me. She's like, "Excuse me, can you show me the app again?" And so she was an older woman, and so I was like, "Sure, absolutely. Let me, you want to download it right now with me?" And so I helped her download it on her phone, and she opened it, and she was able to scan and stuff. But when I'm sharing that is to say as a part of it growing our ability. Sometimes we don't understand why we're doing the thing that we need to do. Sometimes Holy Spirit tells us to do something that is like, it's not in our lane, it doesn't make sense, it's inconsistent. Like, my brand is not to show up in my sweats at a Publix and share an app that I'm not affiliated with in any form and help people make good, healthy decisions with their food. But it aligns with my brand. I care about people. And so I want to make a better world. And I can't make a better world if people don't exist because they're all dead because they all have cancer. So these are things that I believe that the Holy Spirit gives all of us an opportunity to increase our ability. Did it increase my ability a lot? I have no idea. I won't know until I start doing some exercises and seeing whether or not I can carry more. That's how we know we can carry more. The next opportunity, is it going to be bigger? Can I carry it? Is it hard? Is it difficult? Do I need more intercession? That's how we know we can carry more. That's how we know he's getting us prepared for something bigger. Isn't that exciting? Like when the hard thing, the difficult thing, the thing that doesn't make any damn sense. Okay? No sense at all. It's confusing, it's not in alignment. It's just like what is this? But when we're in obedience, it makes the biggest difference. Now, he always uses things that are like heart centers, like things that matter to us. And that's one of the things that I've recognized is there's a pattern that I've noticed in Holy Spirit is that he uses things that matter to me. So he knows that helping people matter to me. Like if I see someone sick or hurt, there's this guy I see all the time when I'm driving, and I'm like, "Ugh, I wish I can help you," like because I just can't, I just want to help him. I want to help these people. I just do. And so I know that that heart is from the Lord, and how I use my heart, how I allow Him to work in it and through it and massage it and grow it and build it and strengthen it and cover it and protect it, right? That's all Him. I just have to be obedient to allow Him to do that. I have to allow Him to use the good things in me instead of resorting to things that are light and easy. Because at the end of the day, what is light and easy is your ability to increase your ability. What's light and easy is your ability to increase your ability because what is light might not be light for someone else. What is easy might not be easy for someone else. So when Jesus is like, my yoke is light, my burden is easy, or am I getting that wrong? He's not talking that it's going to be the same for everyone. It's based off our ability. It's based off what we can carry. It's based off what he knows that we can do. Are we going to level up to the higher level so that we can receive and accept the things that he has already set up for us? Or are we going to continue to stay small and comfortable and miss out the opportunities to transform the world in our lives? That's the question. And that's the one I leave you with. God bless you guys. Have a great day, night, whenever you're watching this.